What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. That is way too much energy. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about sleep. I do not do it very well, and I know that it's very important. So it's going to be about how I am going to get the habit or get in the habit of doing it right for the benefit of my muscles, my recovery, and overall my health and well-being. So stick around because it is coming up right now or tomorrow.
All right, so for traumatic effect, yes, I was in bed. I went to sleep and I realized that night I ironically had a hard time sleeping. I do have a hard time sleeping maybe 1, 2 nights a week. And I don't know, maybe other people do as well, just from like overall stress from work, life, everything. So one of the videos I'm going to do aside from this one is talking with other people and see uh, what routine they have, if they're able to do it. And I'm going to pick random people so that I can see and get a good idea of what the average person sleeps like. Now, there's very obvious reasons why sleep is important, because we don't want to be sleepy. We don't want to be in a bad mood when we're at work. On our day off, we want to be able to get good sleep. No matter what we have going, if we're tired, we're going to enjoy everything less, and we're going to not do as well as we would want. Now, it's also been proven over many studies that it affects your health, your mental state, and a few other things that are probably a good idea to look into, because sleep is a major part of our lives. Theoretically, we should be sleeping about 6 to 8 hours, so that's a lot of time of our life. If we have 24 hours in a day, 6 to 8 hours, that's practically a third of the day. We want to make sure that we do that correctly. Now, from a fitness standpoint, I have seen many videos, and I've never seen a video opposite of this, stating that rest is great for recovery, for muscle building, basically anything that has to do with your fitness goals or anything that you want to do, basically is always going to be better when you're more rested. That's logical. That makes sense. So what we want to do is make sure that we are good at it, because we are upset, maybe disappointed when we're not getting the results that we want. And if this is something that we can do that'll not just help us with our fitness goals, but an overall life, then I say it's a win-win. Now, I have the habit of sleeping very late. It does not mean that I don't know that it's good. I know that it's good for you, and I still choose to not carry with the habits of having good sleep. So I've said on many videos that it's important to sleep well. So whether or not I've been practicing it does not mean that it's not good for you. It does mean, however, that it's not easy to do, which is why I'm making this video. So if I'm making all these videos telling you to do it and I'm not doing it, clearly someone who acknowledges it still has a hard time. So let's talk about this. Now, I have the tendency of getting up around 5:20, 5:30 to go to the gym. And I want to do this 6 days a week. I was doing it very well, but after a while, my body started realizing, how much can you do this? And I was having the habit of sleeping around 11, 12, sometimes 1, and I was still getting up to go to the gym. I did it. I had a good time. I had a great workout, and I guess I would recover for 5, sometimes 4 hours, but it could have been better, and it can always be better. And that's the whole point of this, to learn how to improve what we're already doing well. By the way, mind the hair. It's been a long day. I'm ready to go to bed. This is going to be the last thing I do for the night, and that way I can just rest. Bear in mind, now it's about 9:45. This is actually pretty early for me. So after this video is over, I'm not even going to look. Well, I might look at it for a little bit, but I'm not going to put it on my computer. I'm not going to upload it to anything. I am just simply going to close my laptop, go to sleep. Now, there's many things that I've seen that people do. One of the other videos that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask what other people do so that they can guarantee themselves good sleep. If they have any routines, any rituals before going to bed, and see what helps them. What I've seen from other people's vlogs, experiences, I've noticed that having too much light may keep your pupils dilated. So one of the things that I started doing when I was sleeping well is I would take advantage of any light that can be dimmed, or any simple light that is not above me. Basically lamps would be the light source that I would resort to. And another thing is I would use blue light glasses to make sure that I could minimize as much light as possible. I would try to stay away from any devices, any electronic devices. Would not try to have that much caffeine until like a certain time. I don't know what time that would be, but here's an interesting thing about caffeine. I think most of us will say, "Oh, coffee doesn't keep me up. Soda doesn't keep me up." And yeah, we'll have like a cup of coffee or some soda, whatever, around 8, 9 o'clock, and if we sleep around 12, that's all right. 2, 3 hours is nothing. And then when we go to bed, we're thinking the effects of coffee, if it is in fact this rich in caffeine, that we're going to be tossing and turning, and we can't go to sleep. We're hyper. We want to just clean the house. We want to go to the park and be active. That's not necessarily what it does. Even when I take pre-workout, when I wake up in the morning, I'm not like going in every direction, not knowing what to do with myself. I just feel more awake so that I can do my exercises. So I've noticed that when I have caffeine, yes, it is harder for me to sleep. The reason I don't think it's the caffeine is because it's so subtle. I don't feel like a jolt of energy that I just start thinking, oh, it's the coffee. No, I don't even think about coffee. I think maybe I'm stressed. I think that I'm thinking about something. And yeah, it's possible that those things can contribute to lack of sleep. But I'm almost certain that on these days, a later coffee in the day, like around 6, 7 o'clock, might not do the trick, might not help. And honestly, if I'm trying to sleep around 10 o'clock, well, that could affect it. So the question is, what can I do to avoid those things? So I do like to have a Coke Zero here and there so that I can feel more satiated with my meals. So I've been getting caffeine-free ones. And I didn't know that they existed, but now I know they have them. So I have that. Coffee, I don't really have the tendency to drink coffee late at night or in the evening, so it's not a problem for me. If I am going to have tea, which sometimes I might do, I'll make sure that it's a caffeine-free if it's going to be later in the evening. Again, just being careful with having too much light, too much screen time. All these things are the basic things that I'm going to do. I was never really a melatonin person. I don't believe in my personal experience that it's put me to sleep. I think I've taken Advil PM once. Ultimately, I'm not really going to get into pills. If I've realized that it's nothing what I'm doing is helping and I may need a boost, I might resort to that. But this is the very, very base manner in which I'm going to approach this. And honestly, it's just going to be the most simple way because I expect everyone to try the simplest, basic way at first as well. I'm not going to go out here prescribing things like if I was a pharmacist. So with that being said, I'm going to try this. So I think one of the important things to take away by knowing if you had good sleep or not is how you feel the next day. I don't feel particularly tired. I still feel stuffy, as I mentioned. But I think also part of it has to do with, I did this on a day off. I wasn't going to try to experiment on a day that I have work or just have something else going on like that morning. So I think also not having an obligation to follow up with. Of course, I did not put an alarm. I didn't have any sense of urgency, that kind of, let's call it anxious or maybe anxiety to think I have to make sure that I'm up on time for this thing. So maybe something that I would want to do is learn to sleep well to the point that my mind just registers that amount of time as when my body is ready to be up. So I can be fully rested and also be free of an alarm. And I think not having an alarm, being able to wake up without it, will also let me feel rested and not think about, will I wake up on time? Will I not wake up on time? Will I wake up for work? Because no matter what, my body just does what it wants, what it feels like it needs to do, and no obligations. I'll still have to work. I'll still have to go to the gym, but my mind and my body will feel a lot better with that one less piece that's stressing me out. Not necessarily like in anguish, like I'm not stressed out over it, but I just think if we can remove as many factors or little things as possible from our minds to not have to worry about, I think that also helps us sleep better. Because I'm not tired. Maybe I am. Like if someone said there's nothing to do, let's go back to sleep, then yeah, I might just do it. But I'm also hungry, so I'm going to eat. So this video has taken long enough already. So what I'm gonna do is the process of how I start sleeping as I make changes, the progress that I'm making. If I don't make any progress, that's gonna be on a different video. So we're gonna make this kind of like a mini series, and if I start to come up with things that I need to do, other things that I've learned, we might just make it a bit of a longer series. But we're gonna end it on this note at this time for this video. But definitely stay tuned. We're gonna have more footage for you, and by we I mean me. And we'll see where this goes. Ultimately, at least I'll be making an effort to having better sleep, and also providing some content for you that will hopefully also help you in your mission to trying to overall sleep better. So that is all for today, guys. Appreciate your time, your liking, your sharing, your subscribing, your thoughts. Everything is always appreciated. Any questions you have, leave in the comments. Any comments you have, leave in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you if there's anything that needs to be addressed. So with all that being said, thank you everyone, and remember, if you do more, you will be more.